Welcome back to Project 613. Over the past few days, we've been learning about how ritual impurity can affect not only people, but also kalim, also vessels and utensils which come in contact with the source of ritual impurity, could themselves become ritually impure. And we learned a few different examples of sources of ritual impurity that could cause vessels and utensils to become ritually pure. Today, we will mention the example of a woman while she is menstruating. We mentioned earlier that this is a source of ritual impurity, and relevant to today's discussion, this can cause ritual impurity not only to another person, but also to utensils which come in contact with the source of this ritual impurity. Now, many of these laws, as we mentioned many times, were only applicable at the time when the temple stood because they would restrict when a person could enter the temple or eat from sacrificial meats. But nonetheless, we believe that all of these laws have practical messages and relevance for all times, even if they are not practiced exactly as they were at the time that the temple stood. So today we'll learn a practical, inspiring message from this law as relevant to kalim, utensils, becoming ritually impure. And that is that usually when a utensil becomes ritually impure, it could be taken to the mikveh and then it is pure again. But there is another method of how a keli, a vessel, a utensil could become ritually impure, and that is if it breaks. The broken pieces are no longer considered ritually impure. They are pure again. If the person so wishes, he can put it together again and use it again. What's the reason for this? Simply speaking, because once the vessel is broken, it no longer has any function. And the only way in which a vessel could to begin with contract ritual impurity is only if it has a designated function, as mentioned a few times. Something that doesn't have any designated function to begin with would never be able to contract ritual impurity. So in this instance, that the utensil now broke and has no more function and has no longer any function, it now loses its status of ritual impurity and it is pure once again. What meaning does this law have on a practical level that could be applicable in today's day and age? That is that in a sense, every single one of us is really like a utensil. We each have a designated purpose, a reason why we are here, a reason why we were created. And sometimes a person's mind and heart becomes contaminated with thoughts and even behaviors that may be antithesis to the purpose for why he or she was created. And in such, we are similar to a vessel that has become ritually impure. We are like a utensil that has become ritually impure. By engaging in something that is against the purpose for why we were created, we attract a certain impurity to our soul, to our inner being. So how do we rectify that? How do we remedy that? Well, one of the methods are through breaking the vessel. What does that mean? Of course, we should not break ourselves literally, but through the brokenness of heart. When a person is heartbroken from the realization of where their thoughts and the behavior has taken them and how far it has taken them from their purpose, that itself can cause the person to become remedied, to become whole again, through thinking about and meditating on how far they have become from their purpose. That itself causes a breaking of the heart, an inner breaking of the heart, where the person begins to reflect on their ways and remedy their ways. And that in turn is itself the purification for one's heart, mind, and soul. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.